Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey.
Hello, friends. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to this full moon eclipse episode of the show. I want to welcome you all in. If you're new, then sit back, relax, see if you vibe with our tribe. If you're returning to the channel, returning family member, then thank you so much for joining us back here again as we are here to talk about this full moon eclipse in Taurus. So many little gadgets and things. Where to put everything. We've been leading up to this now for a while. We did a couple of episodes with the Pleiadians and the angels. And I don't know why I'm looking for this. Okay. So all month long, there have been some themes we've been working off of. And this one is the last theme for November. But they wanted me to share it as part of the full moon. So this one is the one that's kind of a little bit ambiguous. So I want to dive in and see what this means for all of us listening and watching. This was the third Isis message for Isis, goddess Isis, and messages coming out of Luxor and the Temple Karnak for the month of November. And this was the miracle of Isis, miraculous healing of the goddess, lifting a load that is too heavy for you to heal on your own, surrendering to the divine. And then we had Isis coming in and goddess Iris, the rainbow messenger. So I want to dive into that a little bit more and talk about what does that mean with this full moon lunar eclipse that's happening in a couple of days. It doesn't really matter when you watch this too. You can kind of tap into the energy of this moon, this lunation, and the messages. I guess, yeah, for November in general. Before we just jump right in, though, I want to get us all in our sacred space together, wrapping us in love light and light love, inviting in the guides and wisdom keepers and spirit friends who are part of this show. But the guides overlighting this show, Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron and the Pleiadians, work with me. I mean, I work with all realms, but they seem to be coming in the most, so we're going to stick with them for now. Oh, and light our candle. All right, come on, let's do our candle. You know I have to get up like a million times to grab other decks and do other things. Thank goodness for my wireless mic. All right. We're lighting this candle that we've been working with ever since Samhain/Halloween. Wrapping us all, did I already say that? Wrapping us all in love light, light love. Maybe they want me to say it twice. Let's take a deep breath. I think we feel really good today. So we did a Pleiadian healing and a Pleiadian pick me up episode right before this, because I just felt like our little collective, our little group was feeling very anxious. And so we tried to do some work around that. I also booked in with a master healer because, sometimes you just need a little loving. Isn't that a song? So yeah, I can work on my own energy all day long. But it was really fun. I had an amazingly fun healing session with Sarah Louise Tilsley. She is a fellow YouTuber. You guys may know her. She does amazing Reiki, Oceanic, and Egyptian, and all different types of Reiki on her channel. She's very, very experienced. She's a fellow Obad Druid sister, and we really had a fun, I've never had such a fun healing session. We like really vibed, and so I don't know if she's going to be watching, but I had so much fun, so I hope we can do that again. And for those of you that have booked with me, thank you so much for booking with me. I really appreciate that. I do have some specials going on for this month that are also, everything I talk about is in the description of the show notes of this. So our November specials are there. I work via audio session. I don't really do face-to-face sessions unless I feel called to. But typically I just do audio sessions so you don't have to be present. We set everything up via email. You can email me if there's any questions and stuff that you want to include in your session. We do that. If there's a particular focus you want me to have, we do that. And otherwise, I let your guides and my guides drive those sessions, and I've had a lot of fun working with you all on those. So I want to thank those of you that have booked in with me. Without further ado now, let me start thinking, and let's start bringing in, let's lay out some cards. You know, I don't know. We don't really need the cards, but I hope they keep me focused. This is Shamans Drum today. We've been using Bubble for quite some time. So we're going to use Shamans Drum. Oh my gosh, you guys, the Pleiadian power deck, I'm almost done with it. I got like a really big burst of energy, and I'm like only like 10 cards away. So it's a 44 card deck. I'm only 10 cards away from Pleiadian power. So my goal is to have it for us before the holidays. In case any of you are interested in that, maybe next show I'll come on and I'll just show you what the cards are going to look like. I won't have the physical deck yet, but I can show you the proofs of those as they go through because I'll have to order them and get a proof back and all that. But it should happen in enough time for the holidays. I'm very excited. All right, you guys, how many cards? I want me to lay out 4 cards for this full moon. So let's put our thoughts and our energy, our intuition around this full moon. What do folks need to know? We call in Isis, Sister Isis, and Goddess Iris. How are you going to help us lift a load that is too heavy for us to heal on our own? What kind of load would that be that would be too heavy for us to heal on our own? And how is this full moon helping with that? And we learned a lesson the other day on the Pleiadian pick-me-up. Like if I say, oh, I'm done, don't leave right away, because the Pleiadians came in and we did an amazing light language thing at the very, very tail end. So I'm going to start turning over cards. So we have a lot of guides coming in. So we have Navajo Wind Talkers. I'll show you. Here, let me just flip them and I'll show. Oh, we have a reverse card. Interesting. Do I want to read that reversal? So we have Navajo Wind Talkers. Love is always the answer. This is a group I work with, Indigenous Elder Spirits, and we do a lot of light language with them. Typically when they come in, yes, love is always the answer, but we're usually healing. We do a lot of grief tending when the Wind Talkers come in, because they work so much with the heart chakra. Yeah, I have my grief guides coming in now. Yeah. Why do I always forget your name, sister? Oh my God. Her name is so hard to say. That's right. Spomfu. Why can't I remember your name? I have trouble with her name. Why she comes in and helps all the time? Is it Sabomfu Some? Come on, help me out. Yes, why? I don't know. I guess I think I'm getting it wrong. I want to call it something else. But Sabomfu Some is here. So she is a African. She was in her incarnation an African healer, did a lot of grief tending work in Circle. And she comes in, she's like a sister of the rose. She comes in and helps us when there's grief tending. So right out, the first card out had to do with grief, because the Wind Talkers don't just come for that. So there's some sort of grief we're healing. I'm just going to pull them all out, and then I'm going to weave whatever story they want me to weave. The next one we had was Crazy Horse of Lakota. This is one of the guides that helped me make the deck. So 4 very strong because of Wind Talkers. But he says, he's my peaceful warrior guy. I am here to help you in your daily life. You can rise up against any perceived threat by using the power of your heart and mind. Then we have Horse Clan in the reverse. So usually when I get reversals, the way I read those, and it's interesting, it's showing itself like this, so I'm going to keep it. This is more like when I get reversals, it's more like, for me, I read them as like the exclamation point of the cards, or the card that's the most significant out of all of the cards that I draw are the reversals. Those are the ones that we pay particular attention to. This one, I don't know why I'm showing it to you in the reverse. This one is Horse Clan, and that one just jumped off the table too. Horse Clan, which is when horse arrives, you are being guided to work with your allies. You are asked to heed the call and embrace a new freedom. This has been coming up for me all over the place. I don't know if you guys have been getting it as well. Horse and freedom. Everywhere I turn, somebody's drawing a horse card, and it has to do with freedom. So that showed up like that, and then Bee Clan fell down. Bee Clan, which is the bee flies in to help you on your journey. Sweet rewards await you if you can find patience in the process. You guys know I don't like to hear that, patience in the process. And then I think on top of that, I want to put, this is my own, you guys have been here a while, you know this. This is like my Labyrinth of Dragonshire deck. It's just a hand-drawn deck. But I started making a new hand-drawn deck called the Happenstance Oracle, and they've had me like combine the two decks together. So let's see, let's just clarify on top of each one of these cards. What do we want to talk about with this full moon? I mean, you should have already been feeling the energy of it. It's kind of a little, I don't know. I can't explain it. All right, that one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. This one and this one. So on the Navajo Wind Talkers, love is always the answer. We got, you're creating your own reality right now. Watch out. And it's card number 11. So this is kind of like, I have another deck. It's not in production anymore. It was called You Are Loved, but there's a card in there called Spiritual Sailor. And it's the same thing. It's kind of like you're the captain of your own ship. Now it has an 11. So this is just another portal. We've been talking about portal doors a lot. This eclipse is just another portal to help you create your own reality. And the more you can release, it's just all about, right? Full moons are always about releasing. Releasing, this just sounds so cliche, like what everybody says, releasing what's no longer serving you. I think the Navajo Wind Talkers are going to come in a minute and do some, and Sabon Fusome, they're going to come in and help us do some grief releasing. I just feel that. Hold on. So let's put that down there. On Crazy Horse, I'm here to help you in your daily life. We got this card, which is Reinvent Yourself, number 6. It's just a happy little, there's something with the R's, the letter R coming about lately. There's a lot of R's coming up in and about. So as another preview, hot on the tails of Pleiadian Power deck is a new deck I'm creating called Rose Ranch Oracle. It's like based on those old vintage like cowgirl and cowboy like romance comics and stuff. Oh my God, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know why this R, when I see this R, this is like a happy little R though. And he's Reinvent Yourself, number 6. And there's that, we had something with, oh, we had 3 dots. We just talked about this. So this card was drawn with 3 little dots under the Reinvent Yourself. And we talked about the Awen recently. It's big in like the Druid kind of Celtic-ish community, I guess, the Awen and the 3 drops and what it stands for. And we talked about that. And it's kind of like knowledge, deep knowledge that you may not have right now. Because in the cauldron that was bubbling that Caridwen had, when 3 drops splashed out, it's supposed to be like drops of wisdom, but the wrong person kind of got the wisdom that wasn't intended for them to have it. The cauldron and the brew inside was intended for Caridwen's son, and somebody else ended up getting 3 drops and like ingesting them, I guess, on their finger, and they ended up getting the special wisdom instead. So why is that? Is that significant? I don't know, not really, but Horse Clan, we have the E, which is like a big E with a little earth next to it. And this is card number 8, Earth, Root, Ground, Solar Rays, and Inner Fire. And that's on Horse Clan, which is the Freedom card. And then the B Clan card, which is the Patience card, we have B on a B. We have B on a B. This is like my 3 of Swords card. It is a 3, and it's ouch, my achy, breaky heart. More grief. This is more like sadness over having to wait longer for stuff. Is it that simple? That there's a ton of guides. Okay, so there's a ton of guides showing up here. We've got Horse for freedom, B for patience, Crazy Horse, Lakota spirit guide, talking to you about, you know, in your daily life, you can rise up against anything if you use the power of your heart and mind, although it's a very fine balance between the heart and the mind, and that you have to find that balance. And then Navajo Wind Talkers with you're creating your own reality right now, watch out. So how is the goddess? Miraculous healing of the goddess. Nyakarehayo, nyanahihaho, nyaharihaho. Yep, okay, hold on. Yes, it seems like this is going to be like more like a healing. Yeah, because there's patience required. I think where we're headed to with this is it's almost the end of the year, 2021, when this is being recorded. And there's some things I think that you've been working towards that aren't quite here yet. And I think that leaves kind of like a boo-hoo feeling, because you've been told now that you're going to have to be patient and wait a little bit longer into 2022. And for many of those things, I think you're thinking like, shouldn't that have already happened by now? Like, haven't I been working my butt off? Why am I still being required to wait? Why am I still waiting? Can I get right in my mind about this? And then because my heart's there. I'm all in the heart. Oh, heck. I'm all in the heart, but the mind is still tripping me up. The mind is still a little bit unbalanced, and the heart could definitely use a little bit of a clearing out, because love is always the answer. And no matter what else is going on in the heart space, like grief or sadness, or I'm not over so-and-so yet, so I can't come talk to you, or my heart is really back over here at this job keeps coming up, or with this career, but I know I really need to move forward and do something new. Yeah. And there's this freedom you want. You're asking for it. And I think what's happening here is it's coming slowly. It's grounding in gracefully. And yeah, okay. And this card also says solar rays and inner fire. So I did hear another way shower talk about the fact that this lunation, this Taurus one, is kind of, we hear this all the time, right? This is the final closing out. This is the final portal door. This is the final one. But that this is kind of the last eclipse. And then the December one in 2 weeks or so, I think it's on the 4th, the Sagittarius solar eclipse is like the whole brand new beginning. And this is like the closing out. That's why this says solar rays, inner fire, and more freedom coming. More freedom coming. And the next card in the deck would have been healing is happening within you, allow. They like to joke with me through the cards too, because the next one would have been an A, and it's ha, like haha, which is air, new clarity, messages, mind chatter, and wings. Okay. Let's do a little bit of, we have not pulled out our drum in a while. One of our friend. So this is like, hopefully it's not too loud in the microphone. Maybe I have to hold it further away. We're going to drum a little bit. We're going to bring in the Navajo Wind Talkers. We're going to do a little bit of clearing out because I feel like there's new codes, new things that want to come through, but they're just having me like sit here and be like, yeah, So until we clear out whatever this is that needs to be cleared out, I get the feeling like we're not going to get anything more than, be patient, and freedom codes are coming. So new freedom codes are coming with the Sagittarius eclipse. You're slowly reinventing yourself. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's fine. Everything's all right. It's just this place of endings that has to run its course, they're saying. So let's just see what wants to come through. So I want you to take a deep breath. I told you earlier, I said this moon just kind of feels like wah-wah to me. Like not sad, but just like uneventful. Like there isn't a whole lot happening here. I think we've had so many close out portals, like this portal's closing this out. And it's like, is this mark the end of the final quote unquote close out? I don't know. So let's do this, see what wants to come through, and then see if there's anything else after that. So relax and close your eyes. I assume if you're here, you want healing and release, but you don't have to. You can just close your eyes and relax and listen to the drum if there's something you don't want to release. I'm inviting in your guides, any power animals that want to show up. We're going to work shamanically today, so we're going to invite in power animals. If you don't have a power animal, or you don't know of one that you typically work with, then just ask for one. One will be shown to you. One will appear to you, or you'll feel it or know it's there. I'm inviting in my own power animals to join. This is just going to be, I'll just guide you through whatever we need to guide you through here. So I'm standing in an inner grove of trees. I want you to join me here. Just see yourself leaving your sacred space, walking down or out or on whatever path it takes for you to get to me in this inner grove of trees. Summoning you now to join me in this sacred space. See souls starting to enter now. Just take a seat. Guides have put out some little like pillows to sit on the ground. Today's a little brisk weather in my etheric space. We're sitting next to the river. We have dolphin guides there. I know dolphins typically aren't in the river, but mine are. The river leads down to the ocean. What is Taurus all about? It's Moon in Taurus, home and family and security and feeling safe. This is a safe space for you to emote. So what they're showing me is this is a safe space for you to emote. So this doesn't feel like a lying down type of a journey experience. This feels like as we ramp up the energy around this clearing, it feels like this is a space where if you want to get up and scream or scream into a pillow or punch a pillow, or this feels like a very active, like get up and get out whatever needs to get out. If you want to like jump up and down in frustration, so they're bringing up frustration. I see you in this very safe space. The guides that are here are going to take whatever is released and they're going to bury it somewhere to release it into the earth. So don't feel bad about, we always talk about psychic pollution on the channel. Don't feel bad about emoting. So they will take that from you. I want you to feel into these feelings of how does it feel when you're told you have to wait for something longer than you thought you were going to have to wait. And this reality is starting to set in that whatever you thought or were expecting for 2021 is going to take longer. Not that it's been pushed out. They're saying that it's always been when it's supposed to be, but that you got a little ahead of yourself and thought it was supposed to happen sooner than that. And so now you may be feeling, pissed off. It reminds me of the song of the movie School of Rock with Jack Black, where he's singing that song like "Step Off," like "Oh, you bullies, get out of my way, 'cause I am really ticked off. Step off." So it's kind of like, I'm telling you, this is like an active emoting session. I don't know where you're at when you're listening to this, but hopefully it's a place, maybe even outdoors, where you can like scream into the forest or whatever. It just feels like I want to stomp my feet. Like I'm just had it up to here with hearing about having patience. I just am so ticked off about Spirit, about you. Like this is even not that you're getting mad at Spirit, but I think you're just kind of getting it out. They're saying, let's just get it out. It's not really directed at anyone in particular. It's kind of like you have to come into now, you have to release and come into a place of acceptance about where you're at on your journey. And it may not be exactly where you thought it would be. It doesn't mean it's not happening. So Spirit wants to be very, very clear that everything you're wanting and wishing for is going to occur. But, oh, you guys, they're like, it's on our time, not your time. It's not on linear time. So even if you don't emote in your personal physical space where you're at, if I wasn't drumming, believe me, I'd be getting up and I'd be stomping the ground myself, but I'm not doing it yet. I kind of already did a big healing session this morning, so I'm kind of in a good place about this right now. But if you can't emote there, I want you to see yourself standing up in the grove and like, you know, if you need to break a branch that's on the ground, or you need to like punch the ground or pull up some pine needles and scruffle them all around and like stomp on top of them, I want you to do that. I want you to get this out. That's why we're here. And so while it does feel like grief, it doesn't feel like grief like the sadness over, losing someone or something like that. This feels like grief, like I'm back to the song. They're taking me back to the song. Like, oh, you bullies, get out of my way, because I am really ticked off. Step off. It's like, I've just had enough. I've had it. So you have to be able to do this. There's nothing wrong with getting angry. Okay, just because you're a spiritual person doesn't mean you're not going to ever emote. It doesn't mean you're going to be even keeled 24/7. It just does not happen that way. It does not happen that way, okay? You have to be able to get your feelings out. It's not bad for you to get angry. It's not bad for you to get mad. Now, in a safe space, in a controlled setting, in a good way, okay? In a good way. So the Navajo talk, when Dr. Talking, it's in a good way. It's not go like take your anger out on somebody else, cut somebody off in traffic. We're not that, we don't roll like that here on this channel. You're in the wrong place if that's how you roll. But you need a safe space where you can emote. And it's not just, we talked about this the other day too, it's not just tears and fears that are shadow work. Some of this anger and resentment and pissed offness and, feeling fed up with the whole thing is part of it as well, is part of doing shadow work. So I really want you to use this time to do what you need to do to get that out. And we're going to bring in some light language here to help support that. I also see the guides. I see the guides trying to incite you in a sense. So the power animals that are here are trying to incite you to let it all go. They don't care. They're like, if you need to stomp and cry and tear your hair, almost like a tantrum. Like if you need to be the child and throw a little tantrum right now is the space to do it. This is the time, this is the space, not to take it out on your neighbor, your partner, or whatever. So let's get that out of there right now. Bring in some light language to support this a little bit. I want to check in with the guides that are here. Okay, so they want me to keep going. They're saying we're about halfway there. Oh my God. Okay, what do you want me to talk about now? This is so many things. So they're showing me a picture of a house. They're showing me a person that was walking by with a dog. They're showing me physical health issues not being resolved when you thought they might be resolved. They're talking about, this job you might have been waiting for, that maybe it fell through, and now you're like, well, what the heck now? I thought this was the one. And they're like, no, there's something better coming, but you can't see through your anger. You can't see through your frustration, and you can't see through your resentment over the process. And I think a big resentment too is, I'm on the spiritual path now. Shouldn't things like this come easier, come faster? I'm doing my spiritual work. I'm healing myself. I'm putting myself out there. I'm allowing myself to be, allowing my chakras to be used to filter out, other people's stuff. Like, I'm a light worker. I'm a starseed. I'm allowing spirit to work through me, through my avatar, for the better of greater and good of humanity. So why am I being forced to wait just like everybody else? Why don't I have some fast pass? Why don't I have some fast pass to my manifestations? Yeah, it feels like irate over the fact that, it feels very egoic at this point now. Like, well, I'm a light warrior, I'm a high priestess, I'm a shaman, I serve, I'm doing my service work. Why am I being made to wait? Why am I not given special treatment because of who I am? And it's like, sorry. Oh my God. They're being very forthright. Like, sorry, it doesn't work that way. But they do want to share with you what you do. what you do get. This sounds like a, Johnny, what do you get when you pick door number 2? Okay, so what do you get? So what do you get? You get divine guidance. Your soul evolves. You're divinely protected. You get cool assignments, they said. You get cool assignments all over the world. Some of you are being, okay, I want to stop this drumming. Some of you are being moved about. Okay, this is on a personal note as well. Some of you are being shuffled about. We talked about a chessboard because I want to channel this in now. I want you to just like come to a little bit and hear these messages. So we're kind of stopping the emoting a little bit. You can always come back to this space and do more. We talked about, I don't know when it was, 1 or 2 episodes back, about chess pieces being moved about, and that we were kind of in this little bit of a waiting for that to start happening. And now they're saying, yeah, so all the things that you've been waiting for that maybe didn't come as soon as you thought is because better stuff is up ahead. And the chess pieces are getting ready to move about. And some of you are physically being moved out and into a better reality. But they're saying it doesn't feel that way to you. It feels, this is, sheesh. It feels like a punishment. So, oh my God, this is crazy. So what they're saying is something is coming for you up ahead. So we did some clearing. So now they're saying we're going to gift you with the knowledge now because this is another thing you get. So you cleared your energy, you emoted, and you got the anger and the resentment and the madness out, and we stomped up and down and did all that. We did the step off. And now they're saying, okay, well, here's another one of the gifts you get. Now you get some guidance as to what's coming for you. How to get it is not, this journey is crazy. There's something coming for, they're saying for each, holy shit, for each and every one of you that at first is going to feel like a punishment. It's going to feel like, what? This is not what I was asking for. This is it. This is not what I was asking for. This reinvent yourself card on the, I'm here to help you in your daily life with the 3 dots. This is not what I was asking for. What do you mean you're gonna make me move here, or you're gonna put me in this job, or you're gonna have me hang out with this person who I really don't want to hang out with? And they're saying, they're like, come on, girl, connect the dots. It's like stepping stones to what you want. You can't go. What is the Monopoly? You can't go directly there yet. You can't go directly to point B without getting to point A. Oh my God, this is crazy. So what they're telling you, what they're gifting you with, is the knowledge that you're going to be put in a position or taken to a place, put in a space, set up in a particular relationship that at first feels like it's a punishment, that it feels like it's not what you're asking for. But it's a stepping stone to what you really want. And there's benefit in doing that because it's going to help you grow even further. Now, I'm asking because right away I'm like, what the heck? Is this like some short-term stepping stone, or is this like some long-term stepping stone? And they're saying, look at the dots. So the dots aren't that far apart. There's 3 of them. And it's on a 6. Okay, the dots aren't that far apart, and they're on a 6 card. So it's like the first dot, I don't know if I can even get this. Hold on. I want you to, somehow the significant, it's hard to see. The first dot is small, and then the next dot's bigger, and the next dot's bigger. And there's a 6. So this is a 6-month process. All right, thanks a lot. It's a 6-month process. You're going to be taken somewhere or given something or shown something or being made to do something that feels like a punishment. And in getting to that space, you're helping others out. Oh, of course. You're helping others out as well. That's another thing. You said, as a spiritual sailor, as a light warrior, a starseed, whatever, you said, I will come and I will serve. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. I will come and I will serve, and I will do so always with the integrity and the intent that whatever I do is for the highest and best good of all. So where you're taken that feels like a punishment is because you asked for whatever this is to be for the highest good of all. And so it's not just for your highest good. Why? Yeah, there's going to be more emoting. I feel like, well, why do I always have to be the bigger soul? Why do I have to be the one to wait? Why do I feel like stomping? Like, why do I have to be the one to be the bigger person? And they're like, that's just the way it goes. That's just part of the role that you agreed to before you came to this lifetime. And so they're coming in strong and saying, you're going to have to just suck it up. But knowing, they are saying, oh, so many chills. Chills is my confirmation. That in this 6-month time frame, you'll get to this final point, which is your dream, your want, your wish, your manifestation. So they wouldn't just be saying that, just to be saying that. So those of you watching or called to watch this this show, I mean, this does apply to you. This is not, this is not like Spirit's like, we don't joke. I mean, they kind of do. They kind of have to have some levity, but they're like, we wouldn't say that and not come through for you. So, because we talked before, like very rarely do we get time frames, but they're being very forthright and saying this is a 6-month down the line thing, and that you're going to have a little bit of a rough start because you're going to be put in a place where it feels like this is not what you really want. And it's because your intention was for the best and highest good of all. And to get to the best and highest good of all, which ultimately is what you want, other people's agendas have to be appeased along the way as well. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out. It's just not going to work out because it would not be for the best and highest good of all. Do you guys want to share an example? They're saying no. Everybody here knows what I'm talking about. Because it's the thing they're saying it's the thing that you didn't really want. You thought you could bypass this thing and you could go straight to, what is Monopoly? Don't pass go, don't collect $200. It's like the go to jail, I don't know why they keep bringing up the Monopoly thing. But it's kind of like, you thought you could bypass this other stuff and go straight to your manifestation, and they're saying, no, it's not going to happen that way. You're going to have to basically suck it up. And you've got all the tools that you need. So that's the other thing too, is you have all the tools that you need. You have your spirit guides. You have your own internal work that you've been doing on yourself. Like, you know how to balance. You know how to deal with it goes back to this. You're creating your own reality right now. If you feel like that's a sucky situation, then it's going to be a sucky situation. If you feel like, okay, I have the spiritual tools I need to be able to make the best of this, then you're going to make the best of it, right? You are a creator. You are the soul. You're a creator. You're a manifester. You're a magician, high priestess, high priest, warrior, wizard, whatever you want to call yourself. You have the tools to make oh my gosh, this is so funny. I can make anything taste good. So I'm going to bring this up and as the final little joke to for this, but it was an episode of was it like Fred, Night of the Living Fred or something? But it basically, he has he's in his kitchen with these chefs and whatever, and they told him, do you really know how to cook? And he's like, I can make anything taste good. And he takes it, and one of the chefs has like this disgusting tube sock or whatever, and he's like, can you make my sock taste good? And they go through this whole thing where he gets the sock, and he He's putting in all sorts, like rolling in an egg wash and putting it in some sort of coating and putting M&Ms and all this crap all over it. And he like deep fries it, and then he like pulls it out and he puts all this whipped cream and sprinkles, and then he gives it to the guy that gave it to him, and the guy, like, you know, it's all just play, but the guy like takes a cut and piece and eats it, and he's like, what does it taste like? Like a sock? But does it taste good? It tastes great. And they're like, he's like, see, I can make anything taste good. So you guys have the tools to make the best of whatever's coming up, whatever it is that feels like it's not really what you wanted, but you're kind of going to have to do it anyway because all parties need to be appeased here. And does it get you any special props? Because it's kind of like, do I get any special props for putting me through this crap? And it's like, no, not really. You just had to affirm it was for the highest, best good of all, and that's how it got set up. So it's like, they're saying I'm not the bearer of bad news. They don't want you to see it that way. They don't want you to see that this is being the bearer of bad news, because this is now with the Sagittarius. So you're going to have a couple of weeks to kind of like get over the fact that this is coming and to prepare for it, to really get yourself clear. This is a time of potentially a time of rest for you, to get your spirits back up, get your physical avatar kind of back into shape, so by resting a little bit and getting yourself amped up for what's coming next. Because to know that in 6 months you could be kind of at the tail end of what you've been asking for. There's a lot of energy behind the scenes going into this, and 6 months is really not that far away. And it feels like kind of towards the 3 to 4 month period, a lot of energy is going to start rushing in, and you just really need to be prepared for all the change that's going to be happening kind of mid 2022, when all of this stuff really does start popping off. So to be forewarned is to be forearmed, or whatever. That sounds so, again, they give me some of these archaic phrases, but now you know, it's not a surprise. I think we said a while back, a few episodes back, you know, we felt like there was fog, we needed clarity, we needed to know what was happening, we weren't seeing any way forward, and now the guides are saying, we're coming in, we're giving you your next, 6 months forward, what you can kind of expect at a high level. You can expect some stuff to happen that you really didn't really want to have to put up with, but you're going to have to put up with it anyway, and then slowly your manifestation will start with kind of the second dot, and then by the third dot, what they're saying is like the next 6 months or so, could be 8. So they're saying 6 to 8. Okay, you guys, stop changing it. They're saying 6 to 8 at the most. They want a cushion. 6 to 8 at the most, you're going to be kind of where you feel like you have manifested what you asked for, and that you're going to be so happy that the prior 6 months of all the emoting and the upsettedness and the sticking it out and the patience and the maybe feeling like you were being punished, it's all gonna, like, you won't even care about that anymore. You'll just be so happy that it'll just be like, there we go again. I swear, who is here? Because these are old terms. They're saying a flash in the pan. This feels like an ancestors are here. These feel like very old terms. So I feel like ancestors are supporting us as well. These are ancestors who want to see us succeed, really want to see us break free of some of the old paradigms where they were continuing to loop, and we're not able to break free of certain patterns. Freedom, the freedom card, that was the significator of our whole show. And horses here, you're being called to embrace a new freedom. So this is not just healing your life. This is healing ancestral lines. This is breaking patterns that have gone back many generations. And chills. So what's happening in this next 6 months is a big testament to freedom for your whole family tree. So because you will have healed, whatever this is pretty big for all of us. You will have healed this kind of karmic loop in your life, and then moving forward, next generations of your lineage don't have to deal with that anymore, and you don't have to deal with it anymore in future incarnations. You'll be done with it. And so I think that is a fair trade-off from my personal opinion, is that is a fair trade-off for having to wait a little bit longer. So are we done? They're saying, good job, I did it. I did what I came to do. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me here. There is nothing else after this. I said that we're done, that I'm aware of. They're saying, nope. So I want to thank you all for joining me this full moon episode, and we will see you all again soon. Take care.